about keys? What are the key when you look at this? What do you think the keys to beating the Texans?
The keys to beating the Texans, I mean, it's going to start where it always starts, right? The defensive line, getting pressure, stopping them, slowing them down, making sure that you are able to speed up CJ Stroud and not let him process what he's seeing in front of him, because the second he processes, he's deadly. So you need to speed him up, make him uncomfortable. Look at the New York Jets game. That was a team that was able to make him pretty uncomfortable for the most part. Only threw for 90 yards in that game. It was his worst rated game on Pro Football Focus. So you want to use that as the template. Get them in cover one, man up with your corners, and put them in a position to where CJ has to beat you in less than 2 seconds, and his wide receivers have to beat your corners in less than 2 seconds. And if that's the bet that the Browns make with the Texans, that's a bet the Browns feel good about being able to cover.
What about matchups? What matchups are you watching as you watch this game?
Yeah, Nico Collins versus Denzel Ward will always be an interesting one. Laramie Tunsil versus Myles Garrett will be an interesting one. And it'll be interesting to see what their game plan is for Myles Garrett. Like, do they just trust Laramie Tunsil to go one-on-one with Myles, or are they going to use a double team with Laramie Tunsil? Like, how much is the fact that they have Laramie Tunsil going to affect how they want to protect against Myles Garrett and how bold they are in their protection plan? Like, do they feel like they can get away with some 5-step drops this week because they have Laramie? Like, that's going to be something to be seen. Or is Myles going to be in more of a position to make plays because they're just kind of betting on Laramie more this week? I think that's something that's going to be interesting to watch, because Myles' most damaging games are usually in games where teams feel pretty confident about their left tackle.
All right, before I let you go, what could turn this in the Texans' favor? What could enable them to get a win in advance and end the Browns season?
If you don't get pressure. As simple as that. You don't get pressure, you're going to let CJ Stroud process. He's going to tear you apart, even if you're a good secondary. So if you don't get pressure, you don't speed him up, it is what it is. But if you do what you've done all year, you're going to be able to slow him down quite significantly.
How concerned are you with turnovers? I mean, the Browns have had one game where they haven't turned the ball over, the Cardinals game.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks, the turnovers haven't been as serious. Like, I feel like they're kind of just inflated numbers. So I'm not extra concerned about the turnovers going into this week. Obviously, when you've had as many as the Browns, you have to worry about them on some level, but I'm not overly concerned.